Attorney General Bondi, I think you and pretty much everybody else here and throughout the country believes that convicted sex offenders don't deserve special treatment or privileges in prison. And yet Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, received perk after perk in prison. In July, she had a 2-day interview with your deputy and President Trump's former defense attorney, Todd Blanche. Just days after that, Maxwell was transferred from a federal correctional institution in Florida to a minimum security camp in Texas, which she, as a sex offender, would normally be ineligible for. At this new facility, as the ranking member talked about, and by the way, it's nicknamed Club Fed, we've heard reports that she's been afforded special privileges, puppy time, private workouts, personal mail, secretarial services. Attorney General Bondi, does a convicted sex offender like Ghislaine Maxwell deserve special treatment and privileges in prison? Yes or no?
Bondi confronted on Ghislaine Maxwell's prison transfer. Who approved this? That question matters, because in a nation built on equal justice under the law, nobody gets a softer sentence because of who they know. Before we dive in, like this video and subscribe for principled, fact-based commentary you won't get from corporate media. I'm a conservative because I believe in law, order, accountability, and equal treatment, not special favors, not political games, and not backroom decisions. So when Americans hear that Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted sex trafficker, was transferred to a minimum security facility, it raises a serious question of trust, and when Pam Bondi is asked directly who approved it and no clear answer comes back, that's not partisan. That's a governance problem.
Let me be crystal clear on this. No. And
Thank you.
let me keep going. No, let me keep going.
Perfect. Well, I
did not know she was being transferred.
I asked you yes or no.
She was not transferred to a lower level.
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock and remind the witness of the rules. One rule she needs to understand here.
And I'm glad that we're agreeing. So when we're agreeing, we can move on to some other things. But I want you to know that every time she does get these perks, and it's been publicly reported, that the folks she's abused, the survivors who are sitting here, they see themselves as being denied justice. They feel re-traumatized. And I'm glad that we agree on that. But she should not be in that prison. And she needs to be moved back to a maximum security prison as soon as possible. But what she has told another committee here is that she won't cooperate with them unless she gets clemency from Donald Trump. It's just crazy to consider that she can be wielding this kind of influence within the administration. But that begs the question, who ordered her to be transferred to the minimum security prison that she was ineligible for? Who signed off on the special privileges? Was it Mr. Blanche? Was it one of your other subordinates? So please, can you tell us who sent her there, since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all. The same level facility, I don't know why, but you know, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, you should be talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple
who
of
died
other
on a subway.
Right, and I absolutely...
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole point of this endeavor is. So of course we're moving back to you. It is all about you. So as we've heard, she took the fifth in response to every single question in that committee hearing. And her lawyer dangled the offer of clemency. Should Donald Trump pardon or commute her sentence? Should she be released from prison, yes or no? You said you hope she dies there, so I'm hoping the answer is no.
I already answered that question.
Good. I'm very glad. I really like this bipartisan agreement about
when
what
it
should
agrees
happen
with you. But you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You don't want to talk about
I talk about her
murdered
all
by
the
a
time,
violent crime
but
offender
I am not
in
here
your
to
jurisdiction.
testify before Congress. You are. That is your job today.
You are
That's what you're getting paid for.
obsessed with attack.
So I want you to know that your own DOJ employee, he's recently been demoted and had some other problems, advises on pardons. Do you think he will be advising Mr. Trump on any kind of clemency or pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm not going to speculate, and you couldn't even identify properly. That's why you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You couldn't properly identify her relative.
I absolutely
It's embarrassing.
have been, and her family, by the way, appreciates all of the condolences, all of the help, everything that our law enforcement in North Carolina has been doing to help her family. Her family feels well treated. Thank you, and I yield back.
Let's be clear on the principle first. Convicted sex offenders do not get privileges, period. That's not left or right. That's common sense. If Maxwell received access to a lower security environment or special conditions, whether accurate in full or not, the American people deserve transparent answers, not bureaucratic shrugging. Bondi said she opposed special treatment and learned of the transfer after the fact, placing responsibility with the Bureau of Prisons. That may be true, but passing the buck is not the same as accountability. Conservatives believe in clear chains of command. If a transfer like this happens, someone signed off. If someone signed off, the public has a right to know who and why. This isn't about defending criminals or attacking individuals. It's about restoring confidence in the justice system. When Americans see elites treated differently, faith erodes. When survivors see leniency, justice feels denied. And when officials won't answer basic questions, institutions weaken. That's not how a strong republic operates. And for the record, no one serious on the right supports clemency for Maxwell. Not now, not ever. Even discussion of a pardon, whether hypothetical or strategic, should be shut down immediately in the interest of moral clarity and rule of law, regardless of who is president, including Donald Trump. Here's the conservative standard. Lawbreakers serve full sentences. Bureaucrats answer for decisions. Justice is blind to status and politics. That's not gotcha politics. That's constitutional responsibility. If the transfer was routine, prove it with facts. If it wasn't, correct it immediately. Sunlight fixes this. Silence doesn't. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe this transfer was routine bureaucracy or special treatment hiding behind paperwork? Drop your take in the comment. I read them all. If you value clear facts, conservative principles, and accountability without hysteria, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us as this story continues to develop.